Hi, everyone, and welcome to Facebook Live. I am very excited to have Jake Gyllenhaal with me here right at Facebook because he has a really important movie coming out on Friday that he produced and stars in based on this book, Stronger. It is the story of Jeff Bowman, who is 27 years old, went to watch his girlfriend run a marathon in Boston, and life changed. Everyone knows the story. The bombs exploded, 3 people died, over 260 were injured, and he lost his legs. There's a very famous photo that I think everyone saw of him being rushed to an ambulance. This book and this movie are the story after that photo. And it's a story of resilience. It's a story of rediscovering humor. It's a story of rediscovering joy. And I think it's a really important story, which is why I'm so glad to welcome you to Facebook today. Thank
you. It's an honor to be here. It's lovely to be here with you.
So, Jeff woke up.
Yeah.
And he couldn't speak. And someone handed him a pad, which is incredible. And the first thing he did was crack a joke, comparing himself to a movie character, a character in Forrest Gump who lost his legs. Then the next thing he did is say, I think I saw the bomber, and then worked with the FBI and asked his father, do you think I helped? I think that says so much about this man's character, right?
Absolutely.
The use of humor, the desire to help others. And I heard that through the process of making this movie, you've become close friends.
Yes.
So tell us about the man that you're portraying in this film.
Well, actually, the very first thing that he wrote down was his girlfriend, who he went to the marathon to go see, was, is Aaron okay? That was actually the very first thing he wrote. And then he said, Lieutenant Dan, as a joke to his friend. I think that says a lot about his character, even more so than his sense of humor is how much he cares about the people around him. And he continues to. Everything he does whenever I've been with him, and we've now been together for the past, we've known each other for over 2 years now, but the past 2 weeks we've been together almost every day. And no matter what anyone's going through, literally it's a crick in the neck or someone trips or something more serious, he's always there for them. And it's and then always making fun of them if it's nothing that serious. So it's always a balance with him. And I'm definitely at the forefront of all of his jokes because it's really easy to make fun of an actor.
Well, an actor playing yourself, right?
Oh yeah, obviously. And like whenever you ask him how well I did, he'll always be like, yeah, give it like a 2.5. No, he's like a soft 3. That's what you're
What's the scale there?
I don't know.
To 5?
Probably out of
to
10.
4 out of 10?
Yeah.
No.
It vacillates from like 6 to 3. Sometimes it'll give me an 8. You know what I mean? Depending on the audience.
Maybe the scale's moving.
Yeah.
Maybe the scale's moving. So this film is authentic. And one of the things that makes it very authentic is that his nurse, his physical therapist, and the doctor who helped save Jeff's life, as I understand it, all appear in the film.
Yes.
And you did the premiere. I think a lot of people noted this at the Spaulding Rehabilitation Center where Jeff was treated.
Yeah.
You're used to working with very talented people in Hollywood. I think probably usually in front of the camera, fellow actors. Yeah. But you're working with the real life first responders and survivors here. Yeah. Why did you have them involved and what do you think that does for this film?
Well, I think it's the community of people around you in a circumstance like this that I started to realize Jeff is not as incredible as he is alone. He's incredible because of not only his family and not only the community and then the city of Boston, but particularly because of all the people who healed him and helped him get better. And that energy, not just what they did, not just Dr. Kalish, who amputated his legs, and not just Odessa Boykin, who was his intensive care unit nurse and he nicknamed the Rottweiler because she protected him from everybody, and not just Michelle Kerr, who is also his PT, who works at Spaulding Rehabilitation, but everybody around him, not what they do, but just their energy. They are loving, strong, tough humans. And I think
it's such an important combination. Loving yet strong.
Yes.
Loving yet tough. Loving yet get up and you're going to do the physical therapy.
I mean, Michelle said to him, we wanted to see his wheelchair. When I first met him, I said, can we just see a wheelchair? Because he was walking when I first met him. And he said, I haven't brought this out since very early on, when I was an outpatient. And Michelle and I thought, he must not want to spend time in the wheelchair. And he said, no, Michelle told me you're not going to spend any time in there. We're going to get you up walking real quick, like no matter how hard it hurt, how much it hurts. And so I think we wanted that energy in the movie. We wanted to feel those people in the movie. And I think you can't pretend in that way. And Dr. Kalish is in there in an incredible scene. He's pretty amazing. David Gordon Green, our director, asked him to audition and say the lines that were written, and he really was very bad. So then David asked him to just speak as he would.
And just be himself.
Yeah.
As I've thought about resilience, and you've thought about it a lot, I've thought about it a lot, it's never just an individual. This is a story of individual resilience, but it is also the story of a community. The phrase Boston Strong came out of this. There are stories of like a man named Carlos who rushed into the smoke to help several strangers. He found Jeff and helped make the tourniquets that saved his life, and they remain close friends today. So how does the community around Jeff, not just the people who helped take care of him in the rehabilitation center, but really the community who were there before and after, the explosion, how does community resilience play into this?
What I noticed from sitting on the outside, watching for over a year and a half, spending time with him, his family, the people around him, was that they are complex. They are complicated people with very messy relationships. And yet what's underneath all of them is this undeniable love. And there are fights, there is anger, I could go on the spectrum of emotions and deep complication, but underneath all of it is the love that sort of lifts him up. And I would say overall, more than...
That's beautiful.
Yeah, more than them, even his daughter Nora, who is 3 years old, who, when Jeff and I were talking the other day, and he was going through a little bit of a hard time, and I said something to him to kind of lift his spirits, and then he was like, I said, what are you doing right now? And he sent me a picture of Nora, and he's like, I'm doing this right now. He's like, nothing more important. So I think it's her too, and she's part of that community.
The connections. So you've got choices. You're a highly sought after actor, and you've really chosen to play characters that I think resilience is a core part of the story, right? Mount Everest mountaineers, Marines in Iraq, a cowboy who followed his heart when it wasn't socially acceptable and should have been to follow his heart. Why are you drawn to resilient characters? What about this subject seems to so deeply appeal to you?
Because I feel like that's what life is about. I think we're all up against something at one time or another in our lives, whatever it might be, and I think that pain is relative, and I think that movies have an opportunity to tell a story about how we can get through those times. But I also think that on a selfish level, I get to experience and learn from real people in the world doing the real stuff. I pretend for a living. As Ang Lee, who directed the movie about the Cowboys, said once, he said, we make movies, we pretend to get closer to the truth. And I believe I've learned so much. The discipline that I apply, for instance, to characters recently has come from learning from the military, from playing a Marine in a movie or playing a police officer in films and spending months and months with servicemen and women and learning from them. So I'm constantly learning, and they inspire me. And then I guess I'm just attracted to that kind of story.
Well, I think it's great. I think resilience is something we all need. And it's a muscle. We built it. We built it in ourselves. We built it in each other. And films are one of the broadest forms of media that have large audiences to this day. And so I think you're doing us all a great service by doing it. And you've done something else that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
We did not know each other, but you started your production company, 9 Stories, and you said that one of your goals was to elevate female storytellers and more women's stories. So behind the scenes and in the scenes. In fact, I was commenting just before when we took a picture that you brought an all-female team, and you were the one who said, but the photographer is a male. And I said, yep, you're right. We need women behind the camera and in front of the camera.
Absolutely.
I love this, and I definitely think we need more men in Hollywood and in all industries to champion women. What drove you to champion female storytellers and stories?
It's just something maybe somewhere I take that for granted because I was raised by extraordinary women. My grandmother was one of the first female pediatricians in Brooklyn. My great aunt was one of the first.
Not a lot of women went to med school then.
Yeah, she was extraordinary, and My great aunt, her sister, was one of the first women to graduate Columbia Law School. My mother is brilliant, and my sister ain't so bad herself. So I was brought up, and this is all to say, too, that I was brought up by incredible men, too, who have amazing minds and have taught me so much. But also, I think it's just something that I believe deeply in, and I don't know, I don't really think about it much. I
well,
believe
you are
that,
thinking about it, and you're articulating it, which is what we need.
Well, I see that it's not out there as much as it should be, and I guess for me inside, I it just comes naturally. I just, I see also with my sister telling stories with, I think, and strong women that are women that don't have to have, male traits, whatever that is, within the common conventional context of what we consider to be, a leading character. I think that is very important, and they have instilled that in me. I mean, after all, I was really, when we were kids, my sister was putting on the shows and my parents' dinner parties, and she was forcing me to play roles, and she was always in charge. So
Love it.
Maybe it's part of
Leaning
that.
in is part of your family.
Yeah,
Congratulations to your mom and sister.
The production of Cats, I was the cat licking
That's
milk
awesome.
out of a bowl while my sister sang the song. So, it's just...
I was a fan of your sister before this, and now I'm a double fan. It's great. All right. So one of the messages, I think, and one of the lessons of hardship, and real hardship, the personal tragedy that lots of people live through, and for my own as well, is it's not just about recovering, it's about finding joy. And it is a hard time in the world right now. There is a lot going on, and in the face of losing legs, in the face of real concerns about our society, in the face of, for me, losing a husband, in the face of, I have a friend who just lost a child, one of the ways we find resilience is we find joy. Permission to laugh, permission to live, to find the gratitude for what we have left that informs our lives. And so this is a serious movie about grief and loss, but with a full intention and open heart, we're going to have some fun. And we're going to have some fun because that's one of Jeff Bowman's messages.
Absolutely.
This is how you recover.
Absolutely.
All right, so these are fast questions, my lightning round. Ready? You live in New York, but you're in a movie about Boston. Yankees or Red Sox?
Red Sox.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's a big answer.
I guess so. I
mean, I don't know that much about sports, but I know
well,
that there's
I'm a constant contradiction. What can I say?
there you go.
I
All right.
know.
Besides Stronger, your favorite Boston movie, The Departed or Good Will Hunting, or you can pick another?
Well, between the two, because I can't, I'll say Good Will Hunting.
Favorite word to say with a Boston accent? You're an actor, so you got to do it well. Go ahead.
The Departed.
True or false? When you were younger, your parents wouldn't let you star in The Mighty Ducks?
It's true. Can we not bring
That's
that
true.
up, if
Are you
don't
sad?
mind? Yes, but I have found joy.
You've recovered.
Yes.
Okay. You don't just act, but you sing, and you were recently on Broadway. Favorite show tune?
Actually, from the show that I did, the show Sunday in the Park with George, this song "Move On."
Sing one line. No one sings here. This is fun.
Sing one line.
Or two lines.
The best lines that are there. She says to my character, she says, "Stop worrying where you're going, move on. If you can know where you're going, you've gone. Just keep moving on."
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's not but it's the best
That's
I can
great. All right, you famously named your dog Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. Another fictional character you love?
Another fictional character that I love. I love Esme for Esme and Love and Squalor, which is a short story written by J.D. Salinger that I named in the Book of 9 Stories, which I named my production company after.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, last question, and I always ask everyone this in the spirit of lean in. One more thing you would do if you weren't afraid. Next thing.
Fall in love.
Such a nice answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking a really important story and sharing it with us. Thank you for the honor and respect you paid not just to Jeff Bowman, but to people of Boston. And we wish you the best of luck with all of your resilient characters.
Thank you.
And really want to thank Jeff for sharing his story and letting so much talent bring it to life.
Absolutely. It's been an honor to play him, and it's been an honor to be here. So thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.